I give the floor to Mrs. FOTYGA, Chair of the Subcommittee on Security and Defense of the European Parliament. She comes from Poland. You have the floor.
Thank you very much indeed, Chair. Maryam Rajavi, colleagues, friends, it is my great pleasure and honor to be here once more during this excellent meeting to put high the banner of human rights and democracy and fight for freedom. And actually, when I look into the plethora of all things, of issues that we have to discuss in this context, the situation of Iranian people, the excellent leading role of Maryam Rajavi and whole opposition Iranian movement, resistance movement led by her is a real example that gives us, all of us, hope and prospects for better future in this respect. Well, I must admit that from the very beginning, I was rather skeptical about Western endeavors to strike a nuclear deal with Iran. Once it is in force, I think it is extremely difficult to somehow discuss the future of deal itself. But what I would like to raise now is the example of behaviors, both good ones, and here I mean first of all your attitude and the leadership of Maryam Rajavi, because it was thanks to you that we are able to show the holistic picture of the role of Iran led by Rouhani regime. Unfortunately portrayed by us, the Western world, as so-called moderate regime. And why so? Because there are calculations behind this. And unfortunately, what I can see for time being on our side, it is using language that is contrary to what we should do while we promote our Western values. So why do we adopt resolutions on Iran that are just hypocrisy? Why do we avoid straightforward words about human rights in Iran in our annual human rights reports? Why do we focus on some areas, just putting aside role of a regime, role of a revolutionary guard, and some other issues? When we argue for keeping JCPOA, we should honestly present holistic view of Iran's role, both in the region and globally. The ability to finance, support, train groups, groupings that are extremely vicious to our societies, to trigger conflicts that are humanitarian disasters. Here I speak about Yemen that we tend to take on board in our agendas so frequently. Unfortunately, with our High Representative going to inauguration of the Rouhani regime, as rightly pointed by NCRI in the company of the ousted former president of Zimbabwe, and representatives of North Korean regime. That is another threat to whole civilization, actually. And then whole series of events, other European representatives going there and closing their eyes on situation. We are able to arrange urgencies and debates about one capital punishment execution in the world, and then 18 ones in the same week, and we are silent, and no requests for urgencies on this. We have to return to a single set of values, try to avoid hypocrisy, not to focus on let's say some things. There are proxy topics, and here I really pay tribute to Maryam Rajavi for assisting, helping families of victims. It's the best way of behavior. Actually, the most noble way of behavior that we remember from the worst time of communism. People who used to do this were real daily life heroes, because it is very difficult, it is very complicated, it is usually very dangerous, and she is really a brave woman, I think. Well, I dream about a time when we are able to myself or my colleagues sitting in chairs in plenary chamber and listening to her addressing us in the capacity of President of Iran. Thank you.
Thank you, Madame FOTYGA, for your contribution, your support to the Iranian resistance, and your dream. Thank you. I give the floor to a colleague from Portugal, José